What is up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, guys, we are back with another Marvel Hot Toys figure unboxing and review video, and today we are going to be doing, for the first time ever, a Thor 1/6 scale unboxing video. This is my first time collecting a Thor figure from Hot Toys, and we are going to be doing his version off of Thor Love and Thunder, his deluxe version. There were two different versions for him. The deluxe version has a lot more accessories, so very excited to go ahead and get started on that. And again, my first Thor ever, so very excited about that. Again, this is off of Thor Love and Thunder, a movie that was criticized a lot, and I would agree, I was not the biggest fan of the movie, but unlike a lot of people, I actually like the design of the costume. Personally, I really like how the colors meshed with them, and I thought it just gave a different look to Thor. So me personally, I was a big fan of it. I know a lot of you guys were not, and I will discuss more about the costume and suit later on when we actually unbox the video. I feel like it's been a long time since we've done an MCU unboxing video. I know that we've been doing a lot of Star Wars videos, Spider-Man No Way Home, DC, etc., right? But finally, we get to take a look at an MCU figure. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started with the review. Starting off with the design of the box, guys. So I think this is the first time that I ever collect a white colored box, but this looks absolutely amazing. So we do get an animated image of Thor on the right side. We get an image of, the logo of the movie and the name of the figure on the left. We do get this kind of warning type of weird label on the left and a lot of lining surrounding the whole box that looks really, really amazing. I would say that the box is very glossy. On the right and left side, we do get pretty much, again, the white background along with this kind of middle stick with the name of the figure and some red, orange, and blue coloring, and this kind of like lining effect surrounding that part. So that looks really, really good. On the back, we get an orange background with the with the Thor logo on the right, and then we do get the legal and warning information on the left with, again, this kind of lining effect surrounding it. So I think that looks really, really cool. At the top of the box, we just pretty much get the name of the figure, again, the Thor logo on the left, pretty much a kind of red background and white background on the right side, and at the bottom we do get, again, the name of the movie, Thor's legs, and again the red background. So I would say this box is absolutely amazing. Looks really, really good. A lot of coloring, but it looks really nice. Now, taking the top part of the box out, we do get this kind of gold type of cover up that I really like, because it kind of hides the figure right in its own way. So we do get the name of the figure and the Thor logo on the middle of the whole box, and now we actually get the actual plastic covering of the box, right? So I really like that, I guess, if I can call it cover or wallpaper, because it doesn't give away how the figure looks really quick, right? It's like we have to take some things apart so that way we can see the actual figure. Now, one thing to note is that this box was really heavy, right? So I would assume it's because of Thor, but also because of some of the accessories that it comes with. First thoughts so far here, carrying my first ever Thor, honestly, off to a good start. I really like how it looks. The suit looks really, really good. As I mentioned before, it is a little bit heavier than I expected, but I can tell it is Chris Hemsworth. It looks really nice and a lot of detailing on the suit, so we definitely have a lot of things to cover. Obviously, we will discuss the figure a little bit later on in more detail, and we obviously will add all of the accessories that it comes with. And one thing that I'm really looking forward to is those silicone arms that look really, really nice. So I would say off to a fantastic start. As you guys know, a little bit later on in the video, we'll do some posing and some side-by-side comparisons. But first, let's start with the accessories. Okay, started off with the accessories, guys. So we have a lot of lighting effects, and throughout this kind of part of the video, I will discuss each part and where it belongs, right? So I'll try to go in order as much as I possibly can. So we first start off with the display base. So we only get one display base. It's pretty much just a hexagonal normal base. I do love the coloring in it, so pretty much it's kind of like a black and blue type of shading in the background, and we do get a logo of Stormbreaker. We get the name of the movie at the bottom, and of course the name of the figure. We do get this kind of long and very thick flight pole for the figure, and we do get this waist grabber at the top. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of these type of accessories because I feel like it damages the figure at the end of the day, but obviously we will use it whenever we post the figure a little bit later on. So we do get two head sculpt. So we get obviously the normal Thor head sculpt featuring Chris Hemsworth. I do like the head sculpt. I will discuss this a little bit, discuss it a little bit later on in the video once we're actually talking about the figure. And then the second head sculpt, it is the one with his helmet on. I don't know if previous Thor figures have come with a second head sculpt featuring his helmet. I do really like the helmet, and I like the fact that it has the white colored eyes, and this one does have LED light up based on, you know, via batteries. We will actually of course try it on a little bit later on in the video, and it does have some lighting pieces that go inside the eyeballs. And speaking of those lighting pieces, these would be the ones that go installed. So again, we will try this a little bit later on in the video, and we will turn on the mask, but these pieces are the ones that go connected to his eyeballs. So I feel like that's a really cool effect for sure. And then of course, this is a must, we get Stormbreaker. So this is my first time looking ever at a Stormbreaker. It is a little bit longer than I expected, and to me it looks nice. It looks legit. It looks really cool. I love the coloring and paint applications that they put on this thing, so it looks exactly as Stormbreaker. And this thing also has batteries, and it does turn on. So that part right there in the middle is the part that turns it on. I really like how they hit that part. I feel like sometimes they will just include the on and off button and it would be very noticeable, but this time it isn't. I really like the fact that they hit it there. The light effect isn't the greatest, and I will discuss that a little bit later on in the video as well once we're reviewing the figure. Now these pieces right here are the ones that go connected to Stormbreaker. So this one obviously goes at the front, and this one right here goes in the back. Again, not the biggest fan of these lining pieces, and I will explain in more detail a little bit later on as to why, but just know that these two pieces are the ones that go installed onto Stormbreaker. Again, pretty much the way that they're made is via plastic, which is not a surprise. I feel like that's the way that all of the lighting pieces for other characters are made out of, so no complaints there. And then these two pieces also go on Stormbreaker, so it's a total of 5 pieces that go installed onto Stormbreaker. These ones go side by side. Now again, this is my first time taking a look at Stormbreaker, right? So I don't know if maybe like the figure for Infinity War or for Endgame, right, also feature these similar pieces, right? But just know that is what comes with the figure. Now this accessory right here, this was a surprise accessory by Hot Toys. So whenever they did the pre-order, they didn't announce it. They just said that it had a special accessory coming with it, and it is Zeus's Thunderbolt. I felt like it was a must to include this. Obviously Thor himself used it, and it does split in half, and it does have its own plastic lining effects. The only negative part about it is that this piece does not turn on at all via batteries. Pretty much it's just an accessory that comes with it. I am glad that it does include it, and it looks very detailed, but again, unfortunately it won't turn on. Now we do get 2 different arm pieces, pretty much with his armor on, not the actual skin. So obviously we will put this on a little bit later on once we actually discuss in the figure, but pretty much he has interchangeable arms, so either you guys can put on the normal skin arms or the armor arms. Speaking of armor, more interchangeable armor. So we get this chest plate that goes attached obviously to his chest. So this one I believe has some silver coloring compared to the normal one. I believe it's more blue, but it does come with that. I almost forgot, this piece right here also goes on Stormbreaker. I believe it goes at the bottom of the tree branch, which obviously is based off of Groot, right? And then these pieces right here go on the chest plate. So we would pretty much remove kind of like those chest little pieces, the circular ones that go attached to Thor. It's a total of 6 pieces. We would exchange those for these lighting effects. I do really like the design of the lighting effects, but I just don't like how they turn on, right? And again, I will discuss it a little bit later on in the video once we're actually turning on the LED lights on the figure. And then these 4 go at the bottom, right? So the main 2 at the top were the ones that we just reviewed with that last piece, but these 4 go in the middle and at the bottom, right? So a total of 6 lining pieces that go installed onto his chest plate. I think they look really cool. Again, I love the design of the lining pieces, but unfortunately the actual lining pieces don't turn on, right? So that is a negative part about it. Now we get a total of 8 hands, right, with different designs. So One thing that I am a big fan of is the skin texture. We see the fingernails, the vein work. We actually see some skin lines. To me, the skin texture is absolutely amazing when it comes to the figure. They did a phenomenal job. Now, the posing itself, I really don't get some of these hand pieces. So, for example, these two right here that I'm holding right now, his hand just seems to be open in some way. I'll be honest with you guys, I really wouldn't know what kind of pose I can do with these hands. Maybe holding Stormbreaker at the top right, I guess. Now these two hands right here, they're obvious. Pretty much it's either to hold Stormbreaker or to hold Zeus's Thunderbolt. Again, as I mentioned before, the skin texture looks nice, and the part of the glove, or I guess armor of Thor, looks really nice there as well. As I mentioned before, a total of 8, and these two are the ones that go installed onto the figure whenever we did the unboxing. Pretty much just closed fist. So not a lot of hand pieces and not a lot of detailing when it comes to the posing, but still in all, they look really nice. I like the skin texture. So pretty much this is it for all the accessories, guys. No complaints for now, except for the lightning pieces. I would say it comes with a lot of things. So for now, I would say pretty satisfied. Okay, guys, so now we get to Thor. So obviously, I was very thrilled to go ahead and review this guy more in detail. And I really wish I had other Thor figures so that I can make an actual and fair comparison to the other figures. Now, me itself, I really like this figure. Honestly, it looks really nice. So we first start off with the head sculpt. So yes, I can tell it's Chris Hemsworth. I really don't have a lot of complaints about the head sculpt. I think it looks like him. The beard itself looks very well. There's a lot of skin texture on his face, so it looks really nice. The hair piece, I would say, is exactly the same as it is in the movie. But I'm sorry, guys, somebody is gonna have to correct me on this, because I swear to you guys, I feel like I see the hair blonde, and to me the hair should be blonde, and they do light brown. So I think it's not accurate, but I must be wrong, because I haven't seen other collectors point that out. Now, as you guys can see, it has some hair strings that do come with the figure in the movie, so I think that is accurate. But I just feel like the color is supposed to be blonde, not actually light brown. Now, one thing that I really like about the figure is that the way the head is connected onto the neck piece is via magnet. But unfortunately, because of the hair piece and it's sculpted plastic, the head is not really adjustable, right? Basically, there's not that much articulation when it comes to the hair. I really don't want to break the hair piece in any way, so I just rather leave the figure the way it is. And also, it doesn't have rotating eyeballs either, right? So it's really gonna limit us a lot when it comes to posing the figure. There's not gonna be a lot of natural poses. We're pretty much just gonna have to pose the figure looking at, making Thor look straight, because there is not that much articulation with it. Now, get into the suit itself, right? So again, as I mentioned at the introduction of the video, I was a really big fan of the suit. I really like how the black and blue coloring matches the gold. To me, I am a big fan of those colors, and to me, I feel like they match the figure well. With the shoulder plates, as you guys can see, they move very well, so it allows the arms to bend and stretch out more than we thought that they were going to stretch out. On the right and left side, so I think this part of the suit is made out of plastic, and the chest plate, I'm not going to say it's actual metal, right? But it seems like it's metal, right? I don't think it is, right? Because I feel like it would have said it. But I do like the color texture on the actual suit. Again, as I mentioned before, to me, all three colors, whether it's gold, silver, gold, blue, and black, I feel like they match very well the figure, and it looks absolutely nice. Again, in my personal opinion, I know a lot of you guys won't agree with that. Now, we get to my favorite part of this figure, and that is the arms. Now, this is the second time that I do a figure with silicone parts. The first one for me was Wonder Woman. I believe her whole body was done out of silicone, and that's from 1984. Now, with this Thor figure, it's just the arms, and I went ahead and took out the armor, because I want you guys to take a look at the arm in full detail. I am in love with these arms. First of all, they look really muscular. As you guys can see, the actual material is very squishy, because again, it is that silicone. But man, the detailing on these arms looks absolutely amazing. They look huge, they look muscular. The skin texture is all the way there. As you guys can see, there's some veins that you guys can see, the bones, everything just looks absolutely amazing. These are the best arms that I've ever seen on a figure. They look just very detailed and very legit, and I love the fact that even with the silicone, these arms are very flexible. They're very movable. Right there, you guys can see there's some type of seam line right there on the shoulder, but I'm not going to complain too much about that. I feel like whenever we do the actual normal posing when it comes to the figure, that's not going to be seen, so no issues there. But man, the arms are very detailed. These are some of the best arms that I've ever collected from Hot Toys. So to me, without question, one of the best parts, if not the best part of the figure. Now, get into the bottom part of the suit itself. So unfortunately, the legs, as you guys can see, they're made out of pleather, and unfortunately I am not a big fan of pleather. I feel like with time it's going to get damaged. Now the good thing is that pleather is in a part of the suit where it's not going to be very movable. So for example, with the boots have to move either left, right, top or bottom, so that makes the material get damaged. But with the legs, they're always going to be standing still, right? So I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue, but still in all, I am not happy that they use pleather with this guy. Now the boots themselves, I think it is sculpted plastic as well. Please correct me guys if I'm wrong. I do love the coloring of the boots. It's pretty much blue and gold at the top, and they are adjustable, right? They do have some articulations. Now we can see some skin, right? But I don't think we're gonna have to pose the figure the way that I just did it right now, and it is not that visible, my personal opinion, so I don't think it's too much of an issue. Right now with the articulations, thankfully the figure does move pretty much a lot, so the legs go pretty much forward and backward without any issue. They go on the left and right a lot as well, so that's a good thing. So I don't think we're gonna have a lot of issues when it comes to posing the figure as far as the legs and arms, just his face sculpt, right? But we mentioned because of the hairpiece, so it looks really nice. And then the cape itself, I am also a big fan of it. The red coloring is really nice. It's pretty bright, the coloring, and it has a lot of wiring. So it has two different lines of wiring on each side, so two on the left and two on the right. So for sure this cape is going to be very adjustable, and we're going to be able to pose it in a lot of different ways, so that is a good thing. And the fabric of it is really nicely made. It's kind of this thick and soft material, so it makes the cape look very legit and really nicely. And again, as I mentioned before, the coloring is very bright, so it looks really good. So for now, I would say the figure looks absolutely amazing. Not a lot of complaints, only for the head sculpt that is not very adjustable, but still in all, other than that, this looks nice. The coloring, the arms, everything, the cape, so it looks really good. So now it's time to go ahead and put the other parts on it. First, we'll start with the other helmet the other face sculpt with the helmet, and we'll go ahead and install it so that to see how it looks on Mr. Thor himself. Okay, so with the helmet part, I actually like this look a lot as well. So the helmet is really nicely painted. I love the paint applications. It is very bright, and the gold just looks so awesome on it. The eyes are white and they're not adjustable in any way, so I mean, to me that's not a complaint at all. I think it looks really nice as well. This is a good look on Thor in my personal opinion. Now unfortunately for this head sculpt, it is the same thing as the normal one. It is not very adjustable because of the hairpiece, so we're not going to have a lot of options with this helmet either, right? We're pretty much just gonna have to keep it straight on. But I really like this look on Thor. The helmet matches very well with the suit, so to me, no question, this is a really nice look, just like the one with the normal head sculpt. Now this is the third look that I wanted to try on with Thor. So now we have his armored arms. I'll be honest with you guys, this is not one of my favorite looks. This would probably be the worst look on Thor. At this point, I do think we're doing a little bit too much when it comes to the coloring. I see way too many colors. We have gold, blue, gray, black, and by the way, I also went ahead and added the other chest plate. So to me, this is way too many colors in my personal opinion, right? So I am definitely not going to keep the armored arms. To me, they look weird on him. It makes him look too much like there's too much color. So this would probably be my least favorite look. Maybe you guys disagree. Feel free to let me know what you guys think about that. But for me, without question, this would be my least favorite look on the guy. And now we get to his last look. So I went ahead and installed all of the lining pieces on the figure. So just kind of quickly want to show you guys what I did. So again, we installed the lining pieces that pretty much stretch out all the way to the back of his neck. We have the other ones in the middle, and at the bottom we do have his lining pieces connecting to his helmet. I went ahead and attached the normal chest plate again, and then we do have the other two lining pieces that go on Thor's arms. So To me, this is his best look in my personal opinion, with the helmet, with all of the lining pieces connected to him. So what I want to go ahead and do now is turn on the lining effects on everything, and I mean the figure, the chest, the chest, Stormbreaker, everything, so that way you guys can take a look into how he looks, right? So there goes the helmet, and then with the chest plate or chest pieces, we actually do get an USB cable. So what we're gonna do is pretty much just take off this part on his back, so that way we can install the USB cable. Unfortunately, the figure did not have one, so I have to use my own as always. And now there goes the chest piece or the chest plate. It is now connected and it is turned on at its brightest. To me, the light effect is really nice on the actual chest circles. And now I did go ahead and turn off my light so that way you guys can see it all in detail. So it is very bright, so I have no complaints as far as how bright it turns on. But the negative part about it is that unfortunately the actual lining pieces don't turn on. So for example, the arms, they look really dark, right? As you guys can see, there's no LED lights when it comes to the arms. And then on the outside part of the figure, again, no light effects whatsoever, right? It's only on the actual center of the eyes and the chest and the center of the chest plate, right? So again, it's pretty bright. It still looks really, really good. But I just wish that Hot Toys would kind of give like a type of flowing type of lining type of effect on the actual chest pieces. Now with Stormbreaker, so again, this right here, as you guys can see, we have all of the lining pieces connected on the Stormbreaker. So on the front, back, and the side effect, and and left and right side. Now I did not go ahead and attach the one on the bottom, and I'm sorry about that, guys. It's just that it was very hard to get it on. It would keep falling off, right? And I actually don't think it looks really good on Stormbreaker. I don't think it even makes sense to have that piece installed onto him. But I did want to go ahead and turn this thing on. So this is for sure one of my biggest complaints. So it really doesn't turn on at all. I can't even tell that the lining pieces are on it. Obviously it turns on in the middle and the light effect isn't that bad, but just look at all of the lining pieces and how dark they look. I mean, there is no type of effect on it whatsoever. As I mentioned, just with the chest plate lining pieces, I wish that those lining pieces would have some type of glowing effect, where even if they don't have LED lights or batteries, they would still kind of glow in the dark, right? I feel like that would add a nice touch to these accessories, not just for Thor but for other figures. So very unfortunate part about the figure. Okay, so now we get to a couple of side-by-side comparisons. So unfortunately this part of the video was very hard for me because again, I don't have any figures from Thor movies, so I really didn't know who to compare him with. But I guess I have to find a way to bring somebody on here to the table, right? So I went ahead and brought Captain America. Why? Number one, the color of the suits is pretty similar. Number two, they're both part of the big three of the MCU, right? And I'm a big fan of both characters, so you know, why not, right? So obviously we have Captain America from Endgame and Thor from Thor Love and Thunder. I was actually a little bit surprised as far as the height of the characters, right? So as you guys can see, the height is pretty much the same, and I really don't know what's the actual height of both actors, Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth, right? You guys would kind of have to help me out on that, right? But I really like both figures, and both figures have a strong connection because they are both ones that are worthy of carrying the hammer. Obviously the hammer comes with Thor, right? So one thing that I should have tried on, and I didn't for this video, is to actually post Thor with both the hammer and Stormbreaker. I thought that would have been really nice, right? So this would be the first side-by-side comparison. Again, why not, right? Again, Captain America and Thor. I promise you guys, in the future, once I start collecting more figures from the actual Thor movies or another Thor, we can actually make a more fair comparison side by side. Okay, my second side-by-side comparison is a very interesting one. So we're doing a character from another universe. We're doing Wonder Woman 1984, obviously from DC. Now, why this comparison? Number one, these two characters have very similar backgrounds. Obviously, there's a Zeus in both universes. They're gods, obviously. So it is I would say, very similar background to both of these characters. Also, the coloring of the suits is pretty similar: red, blue, gold. But also the reason I did it is because, again, as I mentioned previously, Wonder Woman was my first ever character with silicone parts. So I think the whole body of Wonder Woman was made out of silicone except for her hands and her face sculpt. And then with Thor, obviously we get his arms, right? And for both characters, I have to give Hot Toys props. They did an amazing job with the silicone. It accomplished what we wanted, and is that there were no seam lines for specific body parts. In the case of Thor, again, his arms, and for Wonder Woman, specifically her shoulders, right? There was no seam lines between the shoulders and her chest. So that made the figures even better, more natural, more legit. So to me, without question, the silicone is a very nice effect and accessory that they have added on with both of these figures. And I'm hoping that they do that for more, right, that actually need it. For example, Wanda, I think she's a character that really needs it. And I would assume that there's more characters that can definitely use the silicone effect. Okay, guys, final thoughts and posing for the figure. So we have reached the end of this video. So number one, I am very satisfied with the store. I'm very happy with it. It has its flaws, but overall I think this is a really nice figure, and to me it lived up to the expectations that I had for it. For sure, very excited and very happy that I did go ahead and pick up this guy. So positives, I would say the coloring of the suit, the arms for sure. I would say both head sculpts as far as the look-alike, they look like Thor. The cape, to me, it was very nice, and obviously the accessories that it comes with, to me, those are positives. Negatives, I would say the fact that both head sculpts are not very adjustable, and they have no articulation because of the plastic hair piece. I would say another negative is the pleather on the pants, and I would say another negative would probably be the lighting pieces and the fact that they don't turn on and have no glowing effect. So it really limits the figure a lot when it comes to the posing that we want to have for it. Another thing, and to me this is not a negative, right? This is just something that I wanted to point out. So I did have some issues posing the guy because Stormbreaker is a little bit heavy, and I would say that it doesn't really fit tightly on that hand piece that is supposed to grab onto Stormbreaker. So for example, if I put the hands too much at the bottom, it would really tilt Stormbreaker and it would make it fall off. So for example, in this pose, it really doesn't look that nice because, again, I had to put one of the hands a little bit higher, so that did limit me a little bit when it came to posing the guy. But those are just kind of little things that I wanted to point out, right? But I would say overall the positive does outweigh the negative, so very happy that I did go ahead and pick up this guy. So for now, this is the only figure that I have picked up from the movie. Hopefully a little bit later on, if I have the opportunity, I do want to go ahead and get Jane and possibly Gore. I'm not sure about Valkyrie, right? That is one that I will definitely think about, but those are the 4 figures that were released for this specific movie. Again, I know a lot of you guys weren't big fans of it. Me, I wasn't either. Now I guess the question will be, is this the last time that we will get a Thor figure? Not from Hot Toys, right? But I'm talking about like a new figure, right? I don't know that Hot Toys could ever at any point can have like a 2.0 for one of his previous figures. Hopefully we do, so that way I can have an opportunity to grab him. And I do want to go ahead and eventually grab more Thor, so that way I can do solid comparisons with this Thor. Same thing for Iron Man and Captain America. Those are characters that don't have much of a future right now in the MCU, but I will eventually get some of those figures so that we can make fair comparisons. So pretty much this is the end of the video, guys. As always, want to thank you for the support, guys. Thank you so much for watching my videos. You guys are the best, and you guys are so supportive, so I definitely appreciate each and one of you guys. If it is the first time that you are watching me and you like Hot Toys content, this is the place to watch. Feel free to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notifications bell so that way you're always updated with any videos that I drop in the future. Again, I try to post as much as I possibly can. Also, a reminder that I am on Instagram and TikTok. The links to my websites are on the description of the video. Feel free to follow me there so that way you stay updated with all of the images that I drop for these figures, and also anything that is coming up on my channel. As always, again, very thankful for all of the support. If you guys are asking where I purchased this guy, I did purchase him on Sideshow Collectibles. I don't know if he's on a wait list right now, or if you guys can actually pre-order him, but I will include the link if you guys want to go ahead and purchase him. But for sure, a very, very nice figure. So again, hopefully you guys like the video. If you guys have anything that you guys would like to tell me that I can do better, feel free to leave a comment. I will gladly take a look at it. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this Thor unboxing and review video, and I will see you next time.